Bitcoin made a little dump. Well, a little dump. So, are we going now? Are we going back to zero? Is Bitcoin going to crash all the way down? Hello Adrian and welcome back to my channel. It is 7:30 p.m. and UTC plus 8 is my time zone, and hope you are all doing well on this beautiful Wednesday. It is hump day. We are in the middle of the week. We are in the middle of the weekly action week, and what a day did we have yesterday, right? That was a pretty crazy day as well. Anyways, we will follow up on all of that very quickly, and we will explain. Well, I will give you my point of view, and I'll explain a little bit what is going on here and what can we be sort of expecting and so on. But first, let me say hello to the hardcore crew who are basically with me almost every day, right? So hi Nikolai, hi Zaldi, hi Christopher, hi Joe, hi Lex, hi Tina, hi Theodore, hi Manding. Hope you are all doing well on this Wednesday. So first, well, I don't have to state the obvious. So yesterday, let's rewind to yesterday, right? So let's rewind a little bit to yesterday before everything happened. Boom. Okay, let's go here. Hi Donald, I hope you are doing well as well. So, as you know, when I'm entering a trade, and I think that is the most important thing for a lot of beginners or for people who are inexperienced. Like I explained before, always make a plan when things go the wrong way, right? Always make a backup plan, or when things are going to go the wrong way, because yes, we were forming this ascending triangle, which obviously usually probabilities is higher that we are going to be breaking towards the upside, but that doesn't mean that that pattern is 100% going to be working out. It is always a probability. So you have to have a plan in case that things go wrong, right? So if you've rewatched my video yesterday, there are three key things that would have made my position, my long that I had at 11,350, where I entered a couple of days ago, here at this position here, at this green box, obviously, because green boxes are the way I trade, right? I trade from green box to green box, basically. Anyways, so I entered that long there, and I told you guys there were three ways that I would be closing my position. One would be a daily close. If it would be closing below the 10 simple moving average, obviously that would be only the next day at for me at 8 o'clock in the morning. So that would be, you know, a pretty long time before if it would happen, yes or no. The second thing would be a 4-hour candle close below the EMA 55. So a candle close below the EMA 55, that would make me close my position as well. Or a swipe down, basically my stop loss area, just the price wicking below this previous low wick here at 11,432.5. And as you can see, during I think a little bit later after my stream, that is basically what happened. We got pushed all the way down, and my position got closed. But at the end of the day, did we lose a lot of money? No, we did not lose a lot of money. I actually made a small profit of $80 spread. And I think that is way more important to talk about than basically all the trades that are successful or anything like that. And yeah, as you see, I'm very honest about it. I got stopped out, and yeah, the things that I was hoping for didn't work out. But the more important thing is, as you can see, I did not get liquidated. I did not get wrecked. I did not, and even the opposite. I made a small profit on my trade rather than losing money. Right. So I think that's the most important lesson here for traders, because, like I said, it's all about probabilities. You always have to make sure that you have a correct plan and stick to your plan and not do stupid shit in the middle of the thing. And like I said, I was, as you see, I'm very transparent about it. I got in my position, I got out. These are the rules that I'm gonna be exiting my good position, and I execute upon what I'm saying, and that's basically what happened yesterday. So to be clear, obviously, it went down below that area, and then obviously I closed my position. But what did I also say is that, well, the next green box is is this green box here towards the bottom, and my bias is, like I said, my bias is not bearish until well, you've known, we've gone over that pattern before already, or this is the macro view. Like I said, this is the orange line of life, right? The orange line of life. As long as we don't close below that orange line, my bias will still be towards the bullish side rather than the bearish side. So every time it goes down towards the next green box, I will try and attempt my next long. So I was patiently waiting this morning, very, very patiently waiting, and basically I will exit this mode now. And what happened? Dun, 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 dun. This happened. As you can see, it exactly went into my green box, and that's basically it. I entered my long in the green box. I have a long position at around 11,090 right now, and it's moving towards the upside because, of course, after that whole crash, we should have at least a small bounce towards the upside, right? So this is what I'm expecting, still a move towards the upside, but we have to be very, very careful now because, like I've explained before, this is a break of a pattern or a structure, obviously, and although this is a movement towards the upside, if we don't start breaking green boxes towards the upside, it will become a rejection towards the downside. And we have spoken about this before already, and basically what I'm expecting right now, I'm obviously waiting for the next 4-hour candle close, and the 4-hour candle close, or the 12-hour candle close for that matter, because it's the same, right? It's in 20 minutes. I want it to be closing above this P line, of course, that is above 11,486, and by preference, I would it actually to be closing above the EMA 55, which is at 11,538.5. We are currently below both of it, so that's obviously not very good, but we still have 20 minutes to go. So let's hope for the best that we are closing above it. If we do close above it, most likely we will have continuation more towards the upside. Where am I expecting things to be going? Well, most likely somewhere around this area here. Why? Because, well, that is the area that we have been broken down from. So usually what happens is we get like a weak bounce towards the upside, back to the resistance area, and then we get rejected from there. Other than that, we can also use, of course, our Fibonacci retracement line. We can take the top here, and that's a bearish retracement towards the downside, towards the bottom here. 1 second, is it correct? Yeah, it's correct. And we can also see that the golden pocket area is really beautifully wedged in between this area, just below the green box. So that's basically what I am looking at, and most likely I'm actually expecting a rejection from that area. Why am I more thinking about the rejection? Well, I've already told you guys, if this pattern here breaks, and I've already made the measured moves a couple of days ago before already, if this is breaking towards the upside, most likely it would go to the 13,000. But if it would be breaking towards the downside, as you can see here, I see it going all the way back to just above our orange box, or somewhere near our orange box of life. That's basically what I am expecting. So I do believe that we still have some momentum if, once again, if we start closing somewhere, we start closing candles, 4-hour candles above the 11,500, then most likely, I can remove this line here, then most likely we'll be having a little bit more momentum to be moving like $200-300 towards the upside. But as long as we don't basically re-break and go back into our bullish momentum, or above this green box basically, right, then more downwards movement is very probable and very likely. So other than that, well, what can we also do? Why do we get that beautiful number of 11,700 or something like that? Well, we can actually also look at the RSI, right? So we have made that trend line that I've shown you guys before already, and if we are moving, let's say we get that nice pump back towards the upside. Well, if go back to around this area here, and that would be getting rejected once again. And that area there is around, as you can see, if we are looking around 48.8, right? 48.8. So let's take a look what that 48.8 would be in on the RSI price, right? Because we can enter the price here. So 48.8. That would mean that the price would be going $11,600. So back to $11,600 and then get the rejection. You know, that is a very probable situation if we are just purely looking at the RSI, right? So that's another confluent area that we can be looking at. So let me remove this one and this one here. Okay. So what's the play here? Well, the play is to take profits as quickly as possible whenever we see some sort of rejection. So I will close my position if over the next 15 minutes we don't close above the P line. So if we don't close above it, I will just take my profits, just take the $350, $400 spread profits and call it a day, and then let's see what happens later on during the night. But for me, in the very short term, I want to see this closing above this area. If we do close above this area, I do see us continuing a little bit higher towards 11,600, 11,700, something like that, just below our green box here. And most likely, like I said, most likely I'm expecting a rejection rather than a continuation of the trend, because this whole pattern seems to be breaking towards the downside rather than the upside. Is it all over? That is basically the main question as well, right? In the short term, does it mean that it's going to be, completely death and destruction if we are going back towards 10,500, 10,600? Not really. Like I said, as long as we don't start closing candles below it as well. Another way that we could have also know our beautiful entry position is, of course, like I said, if we do get on the daily, we can always check our EMA 21. As you can see, it's at 11,094. So that would have been a perfect entry as well. And as you know, if we are starting to close below the daily EMA 21, most likely we will be going towards the next one, which is here at the EMA 55. Right now, the EMA 55 is at 10,300, as you can see. So what am I really expecting is basically we still move towards the upside a little bit, and then we slowly grind our way most likely down once again, and then at one point break the structure of the EMA 21. But meanwhile, the EMA 55 is most likely going to be going up, and then we break all the way down towards the EMA 55. That is basically what I am expecting. Purely because of this structure, I don't think we have enough downwards movement just yet. But of course, can be wrong, and we can be immediately going towards the moon as well. So we have to be very careful. Where would I starting to be feeling more bullish again? Of course, well, once we start closing candles above this green box once again, then we are back in our momentum towards the upside, obviously, right? So just playing from green box to green box, that's what I'm just that's my trading style, and that's what I will keep doing basically. Other than that, yesterday we had a nice movement on the Dixie, right? So let's talk about that. So when we were looking at the Dixie, so let's rewind, right? So when we were looking at the Dixie, we were actually seeing something like this. Yes. So when we were looking at the Dixie at that point in time, we saw that we had this huge downwards candle. It closed below the EMA 21, and we were thinking, okay, this looks really good. We will most likely get a rejection, and we most likely go up in the price for Bitcoin and stock market and so on and so on. But what happened is Mr. Dixie made an opposite move, and this is what happened. Boom, as you can see, went down and went up even a little bit more. Boom, as you can see here. So went all the way up here towards the R2, as you can see, and that basically caused the crash of everything. the S&P went down, the gold market went down, the Bitcoin market went down, everything went down. And that's what I keep telling everybody. You basically have to just watch one thing, and that's the Dixie. If the Dixie makes a move towards the upside, holy shit, then just it's time to get out. Because if that happens, then the whole market is getting raped and crashed towards the downside. Now, as you can see, the Dixie went back down a little bit. I'll remove this one. The Dixie went back down a little bit, as you can see here. Today, from the R2, it went back down, and that's basically the reason why we have that relief bounce that we are getting right now. But as you can see right now, it makes a little move towards the upside once again. Now, the question is, do we get a real push towards the upside on the Dixie, or is this going to get rejected and going back down towards the downside? Well, the thing that I'm looking at is, of course, the EMA 21 and the EMA 55, right? So if this yellow line, as you can see here, it is maybe I should put it on the line chart so you can see it better. So if this yellow line here crosses above the green line, we will make a bullish cross towards the upside. So that would mean continuation of the Dixie towards the upside. So that's basically what you have to be looking at, and that's the reason why I am basically thinking that we will most likely get a push back towards the 10.6, 10.5k area, because most likely we will get that bullish cross, and then the Dixie is going to make that move towards the upside even higher, and that is going to be causing a major crash once again on all the markets towards the downside. So all eyes really on the Dixie. Do we create that golden cross towards the upside? Do we get that continuation towards the upside? Then it will be not good for every market basically. So like I said, the Dixie knows all. The Dixie knows all. That's the only chart really that you have to be eyeing very, very carefully. And when things go wrong, or when things start pumping on the Dixie, yes, get out, because that is going to cause major pain, right? So like I said, I do expect this golden cross to be completing. That's the reason why I am more inclined that we will have more bearish continuation towards the downside, most likely, like I said, back to our pivot point towards the downside, right? So sorry, on the daily we can clearly see here, back to our pivot point here towards the downside, back basically towards our orange line, or our currently our blue line, the M8, the simple 21 moving average on the daily. Isn't going to be immediately? I don't think so. Well, we'll still make right now we are still making that bounce towards the upside, and what I'm actually kind of expecting is still holding and then going down a little bit slowly, and then once we actually break and close below this EMA 21, then basically the hell is going to be breaking loose, and then going down towards the downside. But overall, let's take a look here on the long-term chart, right? So this is the long-term chart, right? Let's remove this channel here because that's not really of importance anymore. What are we going to be forming if we are basically just doing this? Oh, sorry. What are we basically forming if we are just basically ranging in between this? Well, not that range, right? Sorry, it's more this range. If we are moving in between this range, so if we do get a touch down towards the 10.5 once again, basically this is just more accumulation, or you can actually look at it as some sort of like a bull flag, a major bull flag that is being formed once again. So like I said, my main thought is still exactly the same as before, until of course we start breaking. If we break 10.5k, as in if we close a candle, 4-hour candle or a daily candle below 10.5, then that structure is going to be really, really bad. That's going to be really, really bad. Well, Coral, if we close a candle below the 10.5k, I will so basically it works like this, right? So you remember the last couple of weeks I've only been taking long positions because, well, the trend is your friend, right? And as you can see, the last couple of weeks, the only thing that we've done is basically going up, right? So my short button doesn't work during that uptrend. Now my short button is working again, but only half, because, well, we did break a structure, but only on the short term, not on the medium term or on the high term. On the high term, things are still looking perfectly fine. So if I would be swing trading, I would be not using my short button or anything like that. But since I'm a day trader, I can use my short button once again. And I will actually try to take a short if we get back up around this area here. So I think it's very easy to be managing your risk once again on that area. You can just basically wait for a candle close above the green box, then you can get out of your position, or you can wait for the wick to be going above this 11,889, which is the 0.78 FIB area, or this VWAP ratio here, as you can see here, this area here. If we just wick above that, that would be my stop loss, or that will be my end of my short, my hero short on that area. So yeah, I will try to be shorting for the short term around this area here. That's basically the plan. And like I explained before, a close above the R1 level on a 4-hour candle basis, I'll be out of my short, or a wick above this 0.78 Fibonacci line, and I'll be out of my short as well. So those are the two main areas that I'm looking at, because, well, in the short term we did break a structure, right? So, but yeah, this I can remove this as well, and because that structure is already broken, so we basically created a lower now. So that structure is that pattern is no longer valid, or our ascending triangle is no longer valid. But that doesn't mean that we cannot create some sort of, like I said, a bull flag or some sort of a pennant or something like that. So a new structure is basically being formed over the next couple of days, weeks, and so on. But other than that, yeah, like I said, we are still waiting for confirmation, basically. What is the next move, right? So still waiting now for another 5 minutes, and things are not looking that pretty for Bitcoin. But yeah, you never know. Let's wait it out until until the 5 minutes are over. Maybe we get like the last 5 minute push towards the other. It depends on the volt. So Tina, so yeah, obviously when you have a bigger bigger red candle, that means more selling pressure than buying pressure, right? So yeah, a big red candle, more red candles is not good. More green candles is good, right? Basically, as you can see here, during this period here, we basically almost had all green candles, and then a price structure goes towards the upside, right? And then we had a small correction here, as you can see here, but they were quite small, the red candles, as you can see, but these are really gigantic red candles, so that's the reason why the price went towards the downside, right? Yes, I saw that Planet Comp is doing really well. So yeah. Coral, which green box are we talking about? This one, the where I'm entering, where I have my long right now, you mean? This green box? Dun, dun, dun. Anyways, let's take a quick look at Link, because Link is actually so even though we got a major push towards the downside, as you can see here, Link is just not giving any shits, and it's almost on the way back. And if it closes here, like I said, if it closes the next 3 minutes, basically above this R2, I see it coming back all the way to 1430 14.35, so back to basically our all-time high, and maybe even break it to be honest. So Link is not giving any, doesn't really care about what's going on with Bitcoin. You mean what if it if it doesn't go to this box here? What if it doesn't go to this box here right now? You mean? Yeah, I mean it happens, right? It can because everything is now, all the pressure is now from the from the bears, right? You can clearly see here the 10 simple moving average, the EMA 21, the EMA 55. Before that was support. Now this is all resistance. So there's no guarantee that we are going to be going towards the upside, right? So there's no guarantee. So we just have to wait. Like I said. You can't do anything at all. You just have to wait for confirmation. So if we get a 4-hour candle close, if it's not this one, it can be the next one. It can be the next one. It can be the next one. As long as we don't close any candles above this P line, there's no push towards the upside, right? It can only get rejected. And once we start basically closing back below this green box, it's over. It will make that continuation back down towards the green box, towards the downside. So you just have to wait it out, and that's the reason I'm just not taking any risk right now. I have a nice position here towards the in this green box, and if it closes up below this P line here, I'll just immediately close my position. I don't care about about the next 4 hour or anything like that. Probability is still higher, most likely, that we will be going towards the upside, though. Like I said, Fibonacci retracement. The RSI is making a attempt towards the upside, but yeah, I don't care. I'm not in it to take as much risk. So if this is a $400 spread, then I'll take the $400 spread, which is what is happening right now, as you can see, right? So we closed below the P line, but still it is a bullish candle. So anything can still happen. Like I said, for me, the only confirmation is a close below above the P line, most likely continuation somewhere around this area here, and I'll just wait it out and then short from that area if we do get there. If we don't get there, I will not take any position at all. I'll just be a free man and not do anything at all. But to be clear, I do expect us to be moving towards the upside. We had a serious crash towards the downside. Somewhere around that area is still what I think is going to be happening. But well, why? You don't have to listen to my opinion. Let's listen to the math and let's see what the expected moves chart is saying, right? So let's take a look on the expected move charts. Expected move chart is saying first standard deviation towards the upside is 11,629. Which is perfect, right? That's kind of the area that we are expecting. We have done the RSI calculation that was saying 11,600 something. We had the Fibonacci retracement that was saying 11,700, which is a little bit higher. But like I said, you can't be for $50. You can't, that's a range that you have to be thinking there, right? And the first standard deviation towards the downside is 11,300, right? So it can get rejected. Towards the downside, 11,300 would not break any structure or anything like that. And as you can see right now, it is contracting the expected move chart, which means that we will have a quite explosive situation most likely over the next evening. So let's see what happens, right? Other than that, so the Stokes are curling towards the downside, and that's the reason why I don't think this move is completely done just yet, right? So we had this nice push up here, but this is curling towards the downside. I think if we move this a little bit lower, something like this, right? We can see that we do have support, but it's most likely, I don't think this is going to be holding, to be honest. So we will see. If we get a bounce from here, then obviously things will look really, really good. But I think we're gonna break down from that point. Let's take a look on the RSI. RSI is currently very low, also on the 12-hour, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because, well, there's more space to be going up, right? And as you can see, as well, the RSI up is at 11,700 ish area. So going back up there, getting rejected by EMA, and then moving down towards the bearish territory is kind of what I am expecting. And then we start to form some bullish divergence all the way. This is the first stab, and then the second stab. I think that's more probable and more likely than anything else. Let's take a look on the 4-hour. 4-hour is trying to be curling towards the upside. So we still have some momentum to be going towards the upside. So yeah, I would say yeah, just looking at that, I would say more probability to, but like I said, the 11,500 area, right? See, the RSI is telling us exactly the same thing. We need to be closing a 4-hour candle close basically above the 11,500, and then we can make a push towards the upside, right? So that's the key level right there. Over the next 4 hours, over the next 4 hours, we will most likely be seeing this curl to go towards the upside, and then we will basically see, do we close a 4-hour candle above the 11,500, and then most likely we will have some continuation, and then we will see how things go from there. But most likely rejection. Like I said, I don't think this is the complete. The movement is just complete just yet, right? So, anything else that I want to say? No. I think that's pretty much it for what I wanted to say. So in the short term, I will just take my profits. I'll be waiting for around this area here. Like I said, around this area here to enter a short. If it doesn't happen, then I will not do anything at all. I will not make any trades at all. If we close below this green box here, I will enter a short, aiming towards this area, towards the downside here, around 10,500 ish area. So yeah, those are the two shorting positions. If we start closing above this area here, I would say 11,900, something like that. If we start moving up above 11,900, then I'll be longing, because most likely we'll be breaking the structure and going towards 12,500 or something like that, towards the upside. So those are the areas that I'm looking at, and if anything of that triggers, then I will be making my move. But other than that, yeah, like I said, already made my profits for today, which was perfect, right? This beautiful green box, and well, sadly enough, it didn't continue towards the upside, but good enough is good enough. But yeah, there you have it. You have all the steps that I've talked about, and what I'm going to be doing, and let's see what happens over the next 4 hours. Like I said, the next 4 hours will basically confirm if we get a rejection back down towards this area here, or we get a little bit continuation towards the upside here. But I don't want to be, like I said, I don't want to be stuck in the middle of a green box or anything like that. So it's too dangerous for me, because I'm a little chicken. So yeah, but to be clear, I do think that we'll most likely get a small push more towards the upside. That is more likely than towards the downside. But yeah, this doesn't work with feeling or or anything like that. That's just my personal opinion. I don't trade my personal opinion. I only trade technical analysis. So I'll just have to wait it out and see what goes over the next 4 hours. But it's going to be an interesting night, right? But yeah, looking forward to try to short this area. Looking forward to be trying to short this area on the downside as well. So those are the two areas that I'm looking at, and then longing from this area here towards the upside. That's basically it. Other than that, patience, patience, patience. But I still have my bullish bias towards the upside, mainly because of the higher time frames, right? So because of the monthly close and the weekly close, I still don't see any issues. We can take a quick look at the weekly as well. So this is how the weekly is currently looking at. As you can see, Stokes, obviously, we got, of course, a small push towards the downside here, but we are still in the bullish territory for the weekly. So even just going down a little bit towards that area, towards the EMA, and touching and pushing up is not an issue at all. And as you can see here, the RSI cross down is at $10,700, right? So we still have quite substantially, breathing space to be a bull. But if, like I said, if we start closing candles below the 10.5k, then we have a lot of space to be thinking as a bear rather than a bull. But like I said, I don't have any opinion. I just trade whatever comes, and we'll see what happens. One zone at the time. And right now, yeah, key area here, bounce. We're most likely getting rejection, slowly down. That's what I'm expecting, and then bounce, and then here, while this green area is most likely going to be doing something like this over the next week or two or something like that, and then by the end of the month, this is what we're going to see, right? By the end of the month, we're going to bounce from here and we're going to go here. That's the dang oracle for you guys. That's what we're gonna do. We have to stay positive here. We have to stay very positive here. All right. Anyways, guys, has been fun. Take everything that I'm drawing a little bit with a grain of salt. Obviously, that's just all speculation. I'm not the first, and then of course I'm not a financial advisor. This is not a financial advice. But yeah. Let's see in the next 4 hours, what are we doing? Holding this this area here, breaking down from this green box, closing down or not, and then we'll figure it out from there. All right. See you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Please like, share, and comment, or do whatever you want with this channel. And until tomorrow, please